Laguna Seca has hosted world-class racing on California's beautiful Monterey Peninsula, but the IndyCars are making their first visit there in 15 years. We now welcome in live from Laguna Seca two of the guys calling Sunday's championship finale on NBC, Leigh Diffey and Tracy.
Hi, Krista. Hi, AJ. Yeah, we're really excited about being back at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. It's been some 15 years since IndyCar has raced here. It might be a little bit loud too behind Paul and I. There is a test session going on. It's a two-part test session today, so some really good opportunity for the drivers to get some much-needed track time. Now, let's put it simply, or as simple as we can, what the championship scenarios are for the championship four. For the leader, Joseph Newgarden, if he finishes fourth or better, it's as simple as this. He wins. How about for Alexander Rossi, who's 41 points back? He clinches if Newgarden finishes sixth or worse. Let's turn the page. It's very similar for Simon Pagenaud of Team Penske, the Indy 500 winner. He clinches with the same scenario if Newgarden finishes sixth or worse. And for Scott Dixon, the five-time and reigning series champion, well, it's kind of not how he wins, because he kind of needs to win the lottery to win the championship. It's how he gets eliminated, and he gets eliminated, Paul, if Joseph Newgarden finishes 22nd or better. So let's go through them one at a time. What are your thoughts on the championship leader, the four-time winner this year, Joseph Newgarden?
Well, obviously, Joseph knows how to win races. He knows how to win championships. But so far this year, in the last few races, he's made silly mistakes on the last lap, especially at St. Louis and at Mid-Ohio. When they went to Portland, he was very well coached by Tim Cindric. He was told who to pass, who to let go by. So I really feel that this weekend, it'll be an interesting dynamic as to whether they allow Newgarden to drive his own race, or he is coached through the race on what to do. But having to finish fifth or better is no easy task in itself.
Yeah, he said that if you finish in the top four in an NTT IndyCar Series race, that's typically a good weekend. All right, let's go to Alexander Rossi, who's 41 back. Big points loss at Pocono hurt him with that opening lap crash. How do you see Rossi's chances this weekend?
Well, Rossi's chances, it's all or nothing, really. And I've talked to him in this break, and he said, look, I'm going there to win. They didn't have a good test session this morning. They weren't very quick. We'll see how it ends up this afternoon as these guys test all day. But it's all going to depend on how qualifying goes on Saturday. If he's behind Newgarden, he's got to get in there, get elbows out, get rough, because he's got to make something happen. If he qualifies up front and he's up on the pole, he's got to win the race. But qualifying is going to be so crucial on Saturday.
The other thing to keep in mind, too, is he has lots of teammates at Andretti Autosport and the Andretti-supported car in Colton Herter at Harding Steinbrenner to assist him if need be. Let's talk about the Indy 500 winner, Simon Pagenaud. He's 42 points back, but still stands a very good chance of being a two-time champion.
Absolutely. This guy knows how to win, and he knows how to win championships as well. So it's another similar case with Rossi. He's got to go out there and win. He has to beat his teammate. You can't win this championship unless you beat Newgarden. So again, you got to look back to the past. St. Louis a couple years ago when Newgarden kind of body checked Simon out of the way. Is Simon willing to do that for a championship? Is he going to have to do that on Sunday?
I think he is prepared to do that. And then we talk about Scott Dixon. Do you know Scott Dixon has had 5 results this year that are 13th or worse, and yet he's still here as a championship contender? That just shows how good he is in all of the other races.
Absolutely. It's a super long shot for Scott, but hey, this guy seems to know how to win championships. He's won 5 of them. Anything can happen on Sunday, so that's why you got to tune in this weekend.
So there you have it, guys. That kind of lays it out fairly simply, or as simply as we could, for the championship scenarios. And by the way, I used to live in Cornelius, North Carolina. I would go up that I-77 you're talking about. I don't miss it at all.
Yeah, you know what we're talking about. I know it's loud there, but if you can hear me, I want PT's body check on Diff to at least knock him out of the frame next time. I don't know if you could hear me, but yeah, they lay out everything correctly, though. I mean, we're going to talk about IndyCar. I know it's loud there. They said that test session, which is so crucial because these drivers, the series hasn't raced there in, it's been like
2004.
That's crazy.
I was a rookie during that year and raced there.
Wow, 15 years. That is wild.
It's a racetrack that is very technical. There's some medium speed corners. I wouldn't say there's some excessive high speed corners. Turn 6 that leads up to the corkscrew is probably one of the toughest corners, but Paul said it there. It's all about qualifying because it is a narrow racetrack. It's hard to pass on it. track position is going to be so critical. So this test session is big. Some teams tested, I think, early March, but it rained, so only got about a half a test day. And it's going to be interesting to see a team like Alexander Rossi or Simon Pagenaud, whether they just focus on qualifying. Because if they don't start up front, it's going to be a tough, difficult challenge for them to go win this race. But, yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend. Tire degradation is a huge deal there, so you could see cars lose up to 3 seconds during the run. So there's going to be a lot going on.
Well, we're scheduled to talk to those drivers who are leading the points later on in the show. But you heard Leigh and Paul talk about qualifying is crucial. You just mentioned it there. Can you explain why? I mean, we get it. You want to start up front so you don't have to pass as many cars. But why is it so crucial this weekend at this track?
Just because it's narrow. I mean, it really is a narrow racetrack. When it comes to side-by-side racing for IndyCar, I'm not sure it's even the best place. But it's just when you get stuck behind a car, and maybe because the tire degradation is going to be big, it allows for a car that maybe doesn't wear the tires out as bad, easier passing opportunities. But you just have to start up front, because if you start within the first couple of rows, starting 5th, 6th, 7th row on back, within 10 laps, even if you got a fast race car, you're going to be 15 seconds off the leader most likely. So you have to be up front. That starts with Friday practice into Saturday and putting down a couple of great laps.